Welcome back live to Jackson High School for tonight's game between the Lake Stevens Vikings and the Jackson Timberwolves girls basketball on Fox Sports 1380. I'm Mark Ockett with Nate Tepp, and joining us here in the broadcast facility is the head coach of the Lake Stevens Vikings, now in his 9th season, Randall Edens. And Coach, we've had an opportunity to talk to you about a lot of good Lake Stevens teams through the years. I know you lost some key players, the Pauakoa sisters, etc., in the offseason. So a restocking year. Let's talk about what you got so far this year for Lake Stevens.
Well, I think the biggest thing that hurt us out of the gate was losing our starting point guard to a torn ACL before the season started, right in November. So
tell us about that.
Alex Briggs, she'd been a junior this year. She just slid over from the 2 to the 1 for us, had a fabulous summer and fall for us. And so I think for us the biggest challenge is because we're so young, typically these games right now would be in our midst of 20, 30, 40 games for us. And so we're kind of learning on the fly with a young group, and so that's been the challenge. You have a lot of peaks and valleys, but we won't be gone long. We've got a number of nice young kids. It's just a matter of getting that experience, and that's kind of where we're at this juncture.
Tell us who your 5 starters are tonight.
Let's see. We've got Cassidy Fifield, Kristen Glick, Ivy Jacobson, Callie Long, and Emily Vandergrift.
So there's a couple, 3 names there that we're familiar with, but how about some others that are new to the starting lineup this year?
Yeah, I think Kristen, who's a freshman, she's the one that filled in for Alex. She's done a really nice job. She's managed our team really, really well. And, if anything, for her to be able to get this whole year underneath her belt is going to pay huge dividends for us down the road. In fact, it might even allow us to push Alex back over to 2 if she continues to grow like she seems like she's going to. So, but Cassidy Fifield moved from a pretty prominent role off the bench for us last year to a starting role, and of course Callie's been doing this for quite a while, and Emily Vandergrift's a big-time player for us too. So between Callie and Emily, those 2 are going to have to give us high-quality minutes tonight if we want a chance to win.
Had to play against Linwood last week, and they are just loaded.
Yep.
So maybe we won't talk about that one, but say a closer game against Kamiak, and then also Monroe, which is turning some heads this year. But you did pick up the win against Mount Vernon, and also played Arlington pretty close too.
Yeah, North foes, we've been right in the hunt. Arlington, we were up at least 8 or 9 in the second quarter and missed, I think, out on a chance and opportunity. Same with Snohomish too. We've just played a really daunting schedule. We played Coeur d'Alene, who's ranked number 1 in 5A over at Idaho, and of course Linwood's ranked number 1 here in 4A. We probably overscheduled a little bit, but obviously didn't anticipate the injuries we've gone to. So, but that's okay. We're okay with that. It's just going to make us better long term, and just a matter of continuing to grow.
And I remember watching a couple games from you guys last year, and I thought at any given night with who you had last year, you could have beaten any team in the state.
Yeah.
You talked about earlier how it's kind of a reloading year. Do you look at this as a rebuilding year where you're planning ahead more toward next year, or a reloading year where you think come the end of the year, come the state tournament time, you guys are going to have a little, be a more dangerous team and maybe be a hotter team that might surprise some people?
Yeah, I think it's the biggest. We're trying to figure that out ourselves, honestly, and we need to pick up a couple of these here in the next couple of weeks. But I think if we can get this group to the playoffs is kind of our big goal. Those games pay huge dividends for a young group because they're going through things for the first time, and so to be able to have that kind of in their back pocket for down the road and into the future, awesome. But if we can get there, we even talk about it when we had great teams. It's a new season, no one expects anything probably out of our group, and so we can play really loose and free, and I think everyone in the north is trying to avoid Linwood in that first round if we can. So.
Another team that's right behind Linwood in the standings.
Yep.
The team you're playing tonight, the Jackson Timberwolves, not an easy task out there.
Yeah, for sure. When you got 2 D1 point guards, at the table, that's a nice, talented group. So, but we think we've got an advantage with our size, and so that's going to be our big focus, I think, tonight. And hopefully we can manage their 3 guards. But it seems like they got 4 or 5 girls that can really shoot it from 3. So.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have an off night. We'll do the best we can.
All right, Coach. Thanks, as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
And best of luck out there tonight. That's Randall Edens. He's the head basketball coach of the Jackson Timberwolves. We're going to talk with Mark Hayner, who's the head coach of Randall's with Lake Stevens. Mark Hayner, the head basketball coach of the Jackson Timberwolves, is going to join us here coming up after the break. You are listening to Snohomish County Western Conference Basketball on Fox Sports 13.